Hey guys, what's up? PackSag Gaming here. I know it's been a little while since we actually posted a video, but here it is. This is the comparison video between the Xbox One and the Xbox One S. Albeit it has been a while since the Xbox One S came out, but I promised a comparison video, so here you go. Just on a personal note, I've been down for a couple months because I recently moved across country. So PackSag Gaming is up and running again. Look forward to regular videos coming out of this channel. Make sure you subscribe to PackSag Gaming. And as far as our giveaways are concerned, we have a lot of ground to make up. So we will be doing massive giveaways in the near future. A lot of details in the description. We're going to go ahead and start them through this video here. If you've subscribed to the channel, you might know how those work. If not, again, details in the description below. But here we go. We're going to be talking about the Xbox One and the Xbox One S and the differences between the two, everything down to cables, wiring, all of that stuff. So one of the very first things that you notice is the size. That was one of the huge marketing incentives for Microsoft, is pushing the fact that the Xbox One S is 40% smaller than the Xbox One. And it does make a significant difference. I actually travel a lot now, so I utilize the Xbox One S as kind of a travel companion. I take it with me into hotels and things like that, and it's very, very handy. It fits in my suitcase perfect. So I do have to say the size is significant enough to make a difference. But beyond that, looking at the front of it, you can tell here there is some slight difference to some of the ports and some of the buttons on here. The biggest notable difference for me, anyways, on a personal level, is the power button. So the power button on the Xbox One S is now a push button instead of being like a touch screen button on the Xbox One. And I can't tell you how many times I accidentally brushed up against my Xbox One and turned it off while it was on, and it crashed my whole thing, and I had to start over again. But beyond that, the eject button is still there on the right hand side of the disc slot. The Bluetooth connectivity button for your controller, though, now on the Xbox One S is underneath the power button there. And on the Xbox One, it was around the side, around the left-hand side. Same thing with the USB port. It's on the bottom left of the Xbox One S, and before it was around the left-hand side in this little hole beyond your Bluetooth button. So there are some differences there. Looking at the back of it, you'll notice all of the ports are there. All of the same ports that you utilized are there. With one exception, there is no Connect port. So there's no slot there for you to plug in your Xbox Connect, and that's essentially because Microsoft was pushing the Connect really, really hard, and they just let it go. They said, okay, well, maybe VR is the way to go now, so they removed it completely. There is an Xbox Connect adapter that you can purchase, but you can do that through Microsoft or the Xbox.com website if you so choose. If you have a Connect and you want to purchase the Xbox One S and you want to connect that to it, it is a separate accessory to purchase though, so just keep that in mind. Beyond that, you still have your 2 TV HDMI, to your cable box HDMI, 2 USB ports, and your network connection. One of the biggest differences for me, you still have your power ports there and there. But beyond that, the biggest difference for me is this power adapter. And you'll see what I'm talking about. You no longer have to worry about this giant brick with the Xbox One. Okay, that brick right there is gone. You don't have to worry about that anymore. It's just a single cable, and that cable actually is the same one that plugs into the PS4. Coincidentally enough, I swapped them out and it works. So that's awesome. Universal power supplies. That's the way to go. But beyond that, you don't have to worry about this brick anymore. You don't have to worry about the additional cable that goes into the brick. As you can see here, you either have 2 cables or just the one. So it's really nice. Other than that, let's talk about storage a little bit. The Xbox One S comes in a 2 terabyte option. It also comes in a 500 gigabyte option. The highest that the Xbox One will go is a 1 terabyte. And because of that, I had to purchase this additional 2 terabyte external hard drive, which I just leave plugged into one of the USB ports in the back. It's really not a big deal. because I leave my Xbox One, the black one, stationary and it doesn't move from my TV. The other one I do take around a lot. So if I have any storage, I can put it on a small thumb drive, or I can back it all up into the 2 terabyte internal hard drive from the Xbox One S. But beyond that, I mean, it is still possible to fill up the 2 terabyte, but it's nice to have the ability to purchase that increased storage size if you so choose to do so. Beyond that, talking about or discussing the hard drive size when it comes to purchases, if you're not so worried about it or you don't mind purchasing an external, I would say go with the Xbox One option. But we can discuss the differences. I'm going to kind of just lay it all out in an ultimate review at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. I want to talk about the controllers a little bit. The Xbox One S controller, obviously white, obviously a concern if you have, if you're eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew while you're playing all night long. It can get really dirty. I've noticed a buildup in the crevices already of the handles, and I've only had it for a couple months. The Xbox One controller, flawless still. I have to say the Xbox One S controller, the new one, feels very, very cheap. And I know why they did that. It's because they want you to be able to customize them now. And in order to do that, the material has to be a little bit cheaper because they have to be able to swap them out and everything like that. It has to be customizable. So the material feels cheaper in general. If there's one complaint I have about the new console, it is the controller. I still use the older controller with the new console. But that's the biggest downside to the Xbox One S. Everything else about it is amazing. But again, I do want to kind of discuss an overall option if you're trying to decide between the Xbox One or the Xbox One S. So just to sum all this up, the big question is, if you're going to buy a new Xbox One, which one should you buy? Should you buy the old Xbox One or the new Xbox One S? The biggest differences immediately are the size, no more power brick, it displays in 4K video, and the 2 terabyte storage. So if you're not concerned about the storage, if you don't care about the brick, if you don't have a 4K TV and it's not going to display in 4K anyways, I would go with the Xbox One. It's a little bit cheaper. You get all of the same games. Everything else is provided for you. You get the controller and everything like that. And it has the same functionality as the Xbox One S. Now, with that being said, if you have the extra cash, I'd say go ahead and pick up the Xbox One S. It's only a little bit more expensive, and you get a smaller console with a universal power supply and potentially a larger storage capacity. But if you're kind of strapped for cash, and the holidays are right around the corner, you're just looking to pick up an Xbox One, go ahead and get the older one. They'll play the same game still. You'll still be able to play with your friends and everything like that, especially if you have some external hard drives lying around. If the console is going to be stationary in general, you don't really have to worry about the size or the power brick or anything like that. As far as functionality is concerned, they're both identical in my eyes. So let me know what you guys think. If you have anything to add, or if I missed anything, or if you just have comments in general, make sure you leave them below. Make sure you subscribe to PAX Tag Gaming. Let me know what you guys think again, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.